Now, let's turn our attentions over to someone who hasn't disappointed us in his long career span in Hollywood, shall we? None other than Denzel Washington. Thank God for Denzel, y'all, because I need a palate cleanser after the Diddy doo doo nonsense. Okay, so this is a photo of Denzel Washington with a certification that says that he is now a minister after having gotten baptized. So there he is. He looks proud. He looks happy. He looks very emotional. You can see it in his eyes that he was just crying. Or maybe it's from the chlorine. Guys, have you been baptized? Do you baptize people? Is there chlorine in that water? Because maybe that's what is in his eyes then. And there's a photo of him actually being baptized. And I've got to say, I think it is a very, very beautiful and touching and emotional photo to see him, surrounded by people that he considers to be, loved ones, whether they are blood relatives, whether they are spiritual relatives, or what have you. And they're all there to welcome him to the other side of his spiritual journey. So, congratulations to Denzel Washington on his baptism. According to TMZ, this was OK Magazine, he was baptized at the Kelly Temple Church of God in Christ, located in New York City's Harlem neighborhood. Okay. Let me go back to the picture of the certificates that he had in his hands as I described them to you. He was holding a certificate of baptism, a minister's license, and the minister's license means that he can later go ahead and get ordained. Quick question for you guys. Did you watch his baptism live? Because it was live streams. I had no idea that this was going on, so I didn't get to watch it, but I am curious about whether or not any of you guys were able to see this happen like live in action. Let me know in the comment section. I gotta say, I'm so happy for Denzel. It feels like he's just, like when you round corners sometimes, like you feel it in yourself and you see it in other people. I feel like he's rounded a different corner and like era of his life. And it was very evident to me when he was doing the press run for Gladiator 2. He just seems so calm, so sure of himself. Remember, he's now turning 70 years old, which is so crazy to say, but he's just been through so much in his life and he's learned so much, and he's got his family, he's got his wife of so many years now. And it feels like, he's accepted that this is like, such a big, huge decade, right? I feel like at a certain age and at a certain point, you start to realize and really, really accept your mortality, right? Not to be grim or anything like that, but you see people around you, kind of start to fall and whatnot. And so when you get to a certain age, you're just like, wow, every day is such a blessing. Thank God that I am still here. Thank God that I am in good health. Thank God that I am prosperous, and the same for my family and for my friends. And I feel like he is in that era of his life, and I love that for him. As a longtime Denzel Washington fan, I do have to tell you guys that I was getting a little bit misty-eyed during his acting in the Gladiator 2. Which, by the way, mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the chat or in the comments. Did you watch Gladiator 2? Because normally it is not my type of film at all. However, because Denzel Washington was in it, I had to go ahead and watch it. I'm one of those girls. I am loyal to my actors, And so just seeing him, and it's funny because I had recently watched that other gangster movie that he put out. I think it was called American Gangster, where he would just be like, my man, all the time, my man. And he hired all of his siblings with these front businesses to money launder and whatnot. So I had recently watched that prior to watching The Gladiator 2. And he looked so young, so fresh. The way he moved was just so clean and easy, because he was young. And now watching him in The Gladiator, from his hair to his skin to everything else, and I feel like I'm getting misty-eyed talking about it again, but just the evolution of this man, right? And the fact that he was able to hold it together for so many decades and still have such a beautiful, clean legacy where so many other people have failed to do so. And the fact that he is still just as talented and as vibrant and as captivating as ever. He was acting with people who were half his age, even less than half his age, and still running circles around them. And I think it is such a beautiful thing. I will forever love me some Denzel, and just seeing that he is actually truly aging and stuff like that. And I'm not saying he looks bad or anything like that. It's a true thing. He is aging, and you could see it in his hair, you could see it in his skin, you could see it in his eyes, you could see it in the way he moves, right? It made me a little bit emotional, because then you remember, wow, like, he's aging. That means I'm aging. That means everyone around me is aging too. And it's just a reminder, right? It's just, wow. It's just, yeah. And I think it's like Pop Tart saying that, like, maybe this new energy that we're seeing in him, or that I'm seeing in him, is that he's becoming less fearful and like grateful. And like, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but it's kind of like you're rounding that last corner. You're running a race, you're rounding that last corner, and you're like, yeah, I got this in my pocket, and I know he's got a million and one more, years ahead of him or anything like that, of course, right? He seems to be a very healthy, active, lively person. But yeah, I just feel like that is his new era that he's in right now. And I think he's doing a fantastic job. He really is just so wonderful and so elegant, and such a beautiful person. So he says he shouted out to his wife, Pauletta, during his baptism and his entire journey, and by telling the audience, quote, "In 1 week, I turned 70. It took a while, but I'm here. If God can do this for me, there's nothing he can't do for you. The sky literally is the limit." 46 years later, here I'm still standing next to him as only God will have it, and that is what Pauletta was saying about their marriage, by the way. So this is Pauletta talking. And she continued to say, "So I'm very proud of you. You are the head of our house, and you have set a great example for our children, who are now adult children, who know the difference because we have shown them the difference." And again, beautiful. I'm just, it warms my heart to see a beautiful, elegant, sophisticated, family together. I just, congratulations to him. He and his wife and their children, they all seem so beautiful and so wonderful. And I'm just so happy for all of the success that they have been able to have up until this point, and that they will have again in the future.